I think it'd be great for you guys to get a bit of an insight into Matty and his career so far as a cricketer, not just as a professional, as a club cricketer, as a junior like you guys are now, and maybe that he might have had the same experience as you guys do. So hopefully you guys have got some good questions for him. I've got some questions, and we've got a bit of a fun exercise at the end to wrap it all up. Right, so I think we'll kick off with, I'm hoping you guys got some good questions for Matty. Atticus, do you want to start us off and ask Matty a question?
Okay, so before a game, what do you do?
So we tend to, obviously, we get up quite early and get to the ground just to make sure we're there really and sort of well in advance for the start. If it's a T20 game that starts a bit later, we'll have a little bit of food at the ground, and then we'll just get straight into warm-ups. Really, we'll do a bit of running, bit of stretching with strength and conditioning coach, and then we'll do our skills. So we'll do a little bit of batting, a little bit of bowling, and then finish off with fielding. And then we're normally back in the changing rooms, sort of 20 minutes, 15 minutes before the start, just to kind of get mentally switched on, and then you're away you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Just on that, I'm guessing your prep doesn't just start when you get to the ground, Matty. Your focus is maybe in a day or two leading up to a game as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you've got to make sure, obviously, if you want to do a bit more training, sort of a couple of days before you get that in, you get that done, and even the day before sometimes, and then you just got to make sure sort of you get to bed nice and early, good food before the night before, and then obviously same again the morning after. Just make sure you're in sort of the best mental and physical frame of mind you can be.
What sort of things would you eat the night before a game, would you say?
Oh, you kind of certainly no alcohol, but yeah, a bit of meat, and then just probably a bit veg, carbs. Same sort of the morning of a game, get some good carbs in. So you've got good energy for the game, really.
Okay, good stuff. Right, Kian, have you got a question for Matty?
Do
you want me to come back to you? You have a think, mate?
No, I'm fine now. What was your highest score so far in all formats?
I think it was 148 I got, and that was for he's on a bridge.
Nice.
The new man.
Nice, how you doing, mate?
Stuck on the, is that the Golden Gate Bridge? Sorry, coming back to that club, I think I got 148 in a cup game a few years back. I think Derby seconds is 130 odd maybe, and then Derby first team was just the 50 that Chris has just talked about. Yeah, what about yours?
I don't know.
You don't know? You'll have to scroll back through your records. You'll be able to find it somewhere.
Kian, decent batter and bowls some decent paces, Kian, so I'm sure he's got a score in there somewhere. Good stuff. Lace joined us. How you doing, Lace? You all right, mate? Good stuff. Atticus, back to you. Do you have another question for Matty?
Yeah. Have you ever played in different countries?
Yeah, so I've been lucky enough to have 3 seasons in Australia. So last winter, 2 winters before that, and then 2 winters before that. So that's one of the best experiences that I've ever done, certainly from a cricket point of view, but also from kind of a lifestyle point of view. You have to kind of learn to grow up a little bit and sort of take care of yourself a little bit more. Yeah, the cricket over there is brilliant. So if you ever get a chance to do it, I don't want to kind of put any pressure on you and talk for your parents and what have you, but that was a great experience. Played with some very sort of high profile guys over there. I was lucky enough to do that. So that started me and Chris. We had an overseas player called Hamish Kingston who played with us at Lee. So it was his club I played for over in Australia. And he, luckily enough, they had people like George Bailey, Ben Dunk, Xavier Doherty, Alex Doolan, who'd all played for Australia. So massive kind of learning experience.
Why did you choose cricket as a young player?
I think initially my dad played, so that's kind of a natural path in. But I enjoy it as well, obviously myself. He didn't just force me to play it, and that was the be all and end all. And I think it's important as well when you are a kid to play as many sports as you can, even if you're not good at it. So I played football and wasn't very good at that. Rugby, wasn't very good at that, but I just did that to kind of not put all my eggs in one basket.
Can we all see the picture of Matty on the screen bowling?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have a bit of a competition now. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to draw Matty. Nothing else, not the wicket, it's not the umpire, not the stand, not the wicket, nothing else. Just Matty in that position. And Laith and Matty are gonna help judge whose is the best drawing. Can we do that?
Yeah.
We okay? So yeah, while the lads are drawing Matty, just a couple of questions from me really. I'd be interested to know, as a younger player, when you were sort of in the juniors, did you have a role model sort of around the club? And did you ever look at who was the player you looked up to in the professional game?
I think sort of in the professional game, me being a leg spinner, and certainly when I was younger, I was definitely more of a bowler than a batter. It's like Shem Warne, who's obviously the best leg spinner ever, arguably the best spinner ever. I just think the way he went about things, everything like this classical action, I think, which ironically mine is far from classical, but just the way he went about it, he was certainly from a leg spin point of view, the guy I looked up to. And then from a sort of who I played with, we still are very luckily enough at Leigh to have Carl Brown, who's played 12 plus years as a professional for Lancs. He was at the club for 20 plus years. And certainly sort of these days, I consider him as a good friend. I think when I was growing up, he was certainly that guy you look up to and was kind of in awe of a little bit, the way you look like at 15, 16 years old, you're like, oh, I'm playing with a first class cricketer. And but he's a great bloke, obviously a very good cricketer, but certainly a top bloke. Yeah, and that was pretty cool sort of growing up alongside him, I guess. He played obviously a lot at Lancs during the time. He's done. That was very quick.
We've still got 2 minutes, guys, so we'll just...
It looks more like a monkey than a human.
You can add some finishing touches to it, Kian. As a bowler, is there anyone you bowled at and thought, I'm not getting this guy out, he's just too good? And as a batter, is there anyone that you thought, oh, where am I going to score a run off this guy?
Yeah, so that's certainly, I think that's probably, certainly when you're bowling at someone, I think that's probably going to come more and more now, hopefully if I'm playing for Derby. But in Australia, I remember bowling against Ben Dunk, and I was just like, this guy's just brilliant. No matter where I bowled it, he had an answer for. So that was a particularly tough day. I don't even think my spell was all that long really, but I just remember for that certain period, yeah, he was next level. And then batting against someone who we both I think we both will have played against, a bloke called Mohammed Qureshi, who pro'd in our league for 5+ years, I reckon. And he was just a genius. He was a slow left arm spinner, but he didn't miss his spot ever. He had every variation under the sun, and just bowled it in the same spot. You just couldn't score off him. So yeah, I'd say those two guys, I reckon, would be the two that really stand out.
I'd love to see what we've come up with here. Well, then, we'll go with Atticus has just left. Laith, are you done with your photo of Matty?
Yeah.
Can you put it up to the screen for us, mate? See what he looks like. That's not a bad effort.
Very good, yeah.
Is that a bun on the top of your head? Well, I like that.
That's very good attention to detail.
Atticus?
I'm really bad at drawing.
No, that's good.
That's better than me.
A lot better than what I could have come up with.
Kian, do you want to show us what you've come up with? Oh, is that a dance?
Nah, I don't dance as good as that.
I've seen Matty dance. That's not him. Definitely not. Good effort though, Kieran. I like the
Okay.
creativity. So, Matty, over to you.
It's a bit harsh putting all the pressure on me here, Chris. But I think I'm going to say, just because of the attention to detail with my terrible hair, the first drawing, I think.
Leith, you're the winner. Congratulations.
All very good efforts, and all much better than what I could have done.
We'll get a prize over to you, Leith, when we're next outside. So just remind us. Good stuff. Right, boys. We're gonna just put an end to it there. Matty, if you can just stay online.
Yeah, no worries.
Whilst when the boys go. But boys, thank you so much for taking part today, and well done for some really good questions. And thanks, Matty, for giving us a really good insight into your cricketing career. So, boys, can you just look off for us? That's all right, and we'll be in touch about our next session.
Bye.
See you, fellas. See ya. Have a good day. Have a good one.